Wow.
So I was brought to a grandmother who was 80 years old. So that would have mean a life of trauma, abuse, everything that you could think of that happened to an abandoned child. And my bad luck is that I was abandoned by both parents. If I see my father now, I don't know him. If I see my mother, I have to pay good attention to recognize her. So
Wow.
growing up in St. Elizabeth, it's very rural section where you have to carry water all day, all night, look your own food as a child. They're about 9, 10. I have to look my own food to eat, prepare my own, look after my own personal care because not having parents was difficult. I didn't get much education because my poor grandmother, she wasn't able to do more than she did. And so I didn't get more education. I was a sickly child. So it was a very hard life. Being raped at the age of 13, 14, thereabout, by somebody who you would consider a family member who
Mm.
would have helped to nurture me. Having to move out to seek shelter at
Mm.
16, because there was nowhere to live. So it was a life of hardship and struggle. Then moved
Wow.
to Portmore at 20 to start my family there, married, very young age, 3 children. That again was another life of serious abuse. Lucky to be alive to be telling the story of years, 15 years of a marital abuse. And but two things saved me. Education rescued me. First, Jesus rescued me when I accept Christ, and then education would have helped me to left that home of abuse, buy my own house, and could able to move on with their my 3 children. They okay, they are good children. Um, and here am I.
Wow.
So that's
Wow.
that's my upbringing in a nutshell.
Yeah, that's so sad. You've been through a lot. But let's come back to the family. How many siblings you have, and why did your parents abandon you? Any
My
reason?
mother has 5 of us, all 5 girls.
Mm.
My father, I'm not sure how many of us my father procreated. I have no idea, but I would think it is more than 7. So my mother, I heard that I chat too much. I look like my father. My mother is light skinned. I look like my father. And
Mm.
so maybe she abandoned me because I look like my father. But then why
Mm.
my father abandoned me, I don't know. It is just luck. So
Mm.
it is just my bad luck to be abandoned by them both.
Mm. What about your siblings? Your other siblings? Were they
My
also abandoned?
siblings, I try to make I try to meet them, try to have relationship with them as best as I could, but for some reason there is no bonding. We don't get along because they were of the view that I was hearing from daddy because daddy live in the States and he sent me to university and he buy me house. So they have this writ against me that they are saying that I was getting everything from daddy that they weren't
Mm.
getting. I only
Mm.
hear from my father 2 months ago when he had Alzheimer's and asked for me because Alzheimer's would have dragged him back way back to 40 years ago or
Mm.
thereabout.
Mm.
So I only hear from my father 2 months ago in 40 years because
Wow.
Alzheimer's asked him to ask for me. And so
Wow.
they would have abandoned me. My sibling would have don't get along with me because they are of the view that I was getting everything from a man that I wasn't hearing anything from for 40 years.
Mm.
Yeah. So
Wow.
I try reaching out to them still. I try send money from my mother monthly. I try to take care of her as best as I can. I try reaching out to them. But the last thing we have, I send some money for my mother, and then when I look on social media, my sister put all my information on social media. So it doesn't matter how much I try to be at peace with them, they will not be at peace with me. So I reach a stage in life now where I think I have to accept it and just move on.
So, I mean, how did all start? I mean, outside that, you have extended family like aunties, uncles, and all that. Did you get in
Yes,
touch with any of them?
I have aunts. My paternal aunts, they would come during the holiday and they would visit their mother, which is my paternal grandmother. I met my maternal grandmother once. One that is when I was 20 years old and went to look for them. My aunts, they were not the kindness. I remember I called my aunt on one occasion and I heard her in the background telling her son to say, tell her that I'm not there. Tell her that I'm not there. She begged too much. So
She begged too much.
yeah, tell him that
That
I'm not
means
there. I beg too much.
that means you beg too much.
And the beg that I would beg is that they will carry their children all uniform to give me. So my aunt's children were prominent. They went to prominent high schools and they would bring the old clothes and the old uniform that the children wore to give me to wear. So that was me beg too much.
Wow.
So it was a life of rejection, abandonment, and abuse all my life, if I can put it nicely.
That's so sad. But let's get to know more about Jamaica. I mean, with all the stuff that you just said, so sad. But tell us more about Jamaica. Growing up in Jamaica, culture, Jamaican culture, food, places that we should know. What we should know about Jamaica.
Jamaica, we love people. Most of all, we love strangers. So if you should go to Jamaica now, any Jamaica home you go to, they will give you the bed and they will take the floor. They will give you the food and they will go hungry. That's my culture. We are very warm. Our food is on par. I went to Montego Bay 3 weeks ago on vacation because I sold my house in Jamaica and I went to Jamaica on vacation. And we need to go back down there now to buy another house. Jamaica is a whole vibe. Our food is perfect. Our dish national is ackee and saltfish, and I add roast breadfruit to it. We have the most beautiful beaches. We have more churches per square mile. Jamaica is a God-fearing country. Every house that you go to in Jamaica, you will see at least 2 Bibles. We believe in God. We worship God. Despite our humble beginning, my grandmother ensured that whether barefoot or without clothes, you would go to school. So we value education. Jamaica education is on par, and it is at such that our evening class is what is modeled by the United States of America. That's how good our educational system is back home. We have our fair share of problem. We have crime. We have politics that damage our culture as much as possible. The tribal politics, which is not good. But outside of that, everybody identify with either green or orange. You're born into something, and Jamaica take politics very, very seriously. We are serious about politics.
But people know Jamaican more as music.
Yes,
The
our
dancehall,
music.
the reggae, and all those things.
We have
That's what
very
people
good
know
music.
more. Rastafari movement.
Our great Bob Marley, our music, Bob Marley music movie will be out February 14. So the world know of Bob Marley. But Bob Marley is not the only musician we have. We have Peter Tosh. We have
Still Pulse. We know great reggae musicians, Still Pulse, Culture, and all those things, all those other artists. Yeah.
Yes. So we have great reggae music, great artists, great talent.
Benny Spear.
Yes. Yes. So if Jamaica is a whole vibe, you want to vibe, you want a week of vibe, go to Jamaica. Jamaica is a whole vibe. We keep a party for every reason. There, we don't need a special reason to have a party in Jamaica. We are a party people. We keep party 24/7. But we regard God though, so we won't keep a party in church hours.
What
But
about life in Jamaica in terms of hustling life in Jamaica?
hustling life, like I was on the professional edge. I don't know about hustling life. Like market, we have persons who do their vendings at the market. We have persons who would hustle their car washing, windscreen cleaning. That most of us Jamaican motorists we don't like. We have our taxis, licensed, unlicensed. We are vibrant for robot taxis. Our transportation is not perfect, but it is getting there. So there's always something you can find to do in Jamaica. Yes, we are tiny and all of that, but you can always find something to do in Jamaica. You don't have to go to university to survive. You can find something to do, if you get what I mean.
Yeah, I get you.
And as I
I get
said,
you.
it is Jamaica, no problem. So you don't have to reach to survive in Jamaica. Jamaica is a state of mind, and we all know I have the skills there to survive, and we are survivors there.
Mm, 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 mm. So, I mean, 4 years ago, you were back in Jamaica. What were you doing
I
before
was
you
I
decided
was
to
a
move?
probation officer back home. I was a probation
Probation officer.
officer for, yes. So I was a probation officer for 9 years, going 10 years there. It was a good job. I work with inmates, person who are offenders.
Mm,
It give me an opportunity to coach, to redirect, to counsel, to empower youths, the elderly, persons who were in prison, who came back on parole. It would have been my job to help to reintegrate them back into society. And I enjoy that a lot. That was a part of the job that I would enjoy. You will go into the home, you will go into the schools, you will go into the communities, you will visit them in churches, wherever they are. My job would be to visit them, to bring them back into the society. Because when you go to prison for a while and come back, you are marginalized. Persons marginalize you. And then my job would be to ensure that the reinterrogation takes place. So it's a noble job. And I am sure that I left the profession in good hands, that they are carrying out the task effectively despite limited resources. We do the best that we could inside our prisons, and it is a successful rate. We have a successful rehabilitation rate from our correctional department.
wow.
Back home as a police, that was what I enjoy as well. I still have my friends there back in the Jamaica Constabulary Force, another noble organization. I served there for another 9 years. It was good. Years after, I'm still getting messages and calls from persons who believe that I impacted their lives. I helped to nurture their children, and the turnaround rate of their children because of my input.
What's your country known for? I mean, you are from there, so you have told us what we know
Jamaica
outside.
is known for athletics, Usain Bolt, Shelly-Ann Fraser, Elaine Thompson. So we are known for sports. We compete against the big, great United States of America is afraid of the black, green, and gold girls in their little shorts. Once we step out on the track, the big, great United States of America and England, everybody's in awe because Jamaica, we are going to put on a show. We are passionate about sports. Athletics, cricket, football, we are passionate. And once it comes to that time around, Jamaican, we don't value work. A matter of fact, when it comes to Olympics, we have very low work turnout, because when we go to work, it's about sports. And in every corner and every city, you will see a group of us meet with our pot cover. We celebrate sports. We,
Hmm.
we, 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 we applaud our people. We encourage them. We sponsor them. We are known for sports. We are known for music. As I said, the great Bob Marley, we are known for music worldwide. We are known for our beaches. Negril, we have about 7 miles of only white sand. When you go to the beaches in Negril, you can just look straight into the water to see the fishes. We have beautiful hotels. I was told that we were one of the first set of persons who have all-inclusive hotels. Jamaica introduced all-inclusive hotels. So we have very good hotels in Jamaica. We have good educational system. In every university around the world, Jamaica is there represented. So our culture is vibrant, our culture is a hit, and we are all over the place. Our food is good. Other people are afraid of Aki to use work witchcraft, we eat it. That is our national dish. Beauty. Jamaican, we dress. You see how long it take me to come to you? Because I have to dress. I have to coordinate my colors to meet with you. And sorry to be late, because my headband have to match my dress, and my sweater have to have in a little piece of red. And Jamaican women, we are classy. We are beautiful. We are nice. And we are confident.
That's it.
I remember a set of probation officers went on training in the Caribbean. And when the Jamaicans touched the ballroom, everybody knew that the Jamaicans were coming. We are confident. We tilt our head back and we are confident. We know we are not liked by other Caribbean countries, but we don't care.
Hmm.
So that's us. And yes,
Nice.
we have our problem. But
Nice. You have your problem. So,
we
what are
have
some
our
of the
problem.
problems?
Crime, everybody knows that. Crime and Jamaica problem. I tell people, we don't have a crime problem in Jamaica. We have a domestic problem. Jamaica problem is a domestic problem, because the reason why we can't solve most of our crimes is because they are happening in the home. It's a domestic. It's family killing family, friend killing friend, neighbors killing neighbors. So it's not a crime problem we have, it's a domestic problem.
Hmm.
So unemployment rate is another problem too. We have high unemployment rate because Jamaica is small as well. So we don't have enough job market to meet all of the qualified persons. So persons, we move around a lot. Every part in the world you go, Jamaican is there. Also, we have illiteracy rate too. And I believe that the government need to target the more inner city, the more homes, the more school, to ensure that our children are going to school. Mothers need to ensure that they send their boys to school as equal as they send girls. Because if they come out and they're not educated, then they're gonna turn to crime, because it is about the haves and the have not. So if I have and you don't have, it is just fair that you are going to take mine. So we need to focus, we need to pay attention on our illiteracy rate. When I was a child growing up, we used to have community liaison officer. That's an officer you couldn't be absent from school for 3 days, because the community liaison officer will go out and ensure that you are in school, and whatever you don't have, whether it's clothes, whether it's food, and ensure that provisions were being made. We don't have that anymore. So we need to go back to our community liaison officer, where we can ensure that persons are getting education. We have a lot of vehicles, so we have a lot of traffic in Jamaica, but we are doing well in making more highways. So we are expanding our roads, and our prime minister is doing a very good job. We have a young prime minister who is doing a very good job in moving Jamaica forward.
Why did you decide to move to Canada because you are working at the security service? I mean, for all these years, 9 years. Finally, what happened?
I need a change. I need a change,
Change?
and I always tell persons that I want to retire in a first world country. So I needed a change. And so when the opportunity comes for me to come to Canada to study, I make use of it. So I wanted to change. And as human being, we change, we grow, we travel, we move. And so, and I was in a job as well that I was very unhappy. Jamaica workplace can be very toxic. Jamaica workplace can be very unprofessional, can be very toxic. And so I was at a stage in life in that organization that I was not happy.
Working for 9 years, you were not happy?
I was not happy there. And you don't have this space that you could just move around. Unlike Canada, if I am in this company, I don't like it, I can move